So, my dear Gemini, this is your reading for the month of Pisces, and that means the sun is in the moon, in the subconscious, giving the light to you, which you are in the moon right now. So there is a very interesting combination happening with the sun in Pisces, the sun in the subconscious. It's almost like saying, well, I'm putting the whole sun down in the basement, and it's not just visiting, it's just literally there, giving you so much light that you're really able to see what is happening in your life and what you can change to make it better. We have for the Pisces the fish pose, of course, and the up and downward facing dog, because imagine this is the evolution, right? That we coming out of the water, through land, we have established ourselves, and now where are we going? Up in the air, right? And that's the age of Aquarius that is now upon us. For you, I gave you King Pigeon. And I picked this pose because it really opens yourself so much up that you leaning back, that you open your heart to see what's in your subconscious, reaching back to the feet. And this is where the conscious is looking into the subconscious and the subconscious is looking up. It's this like triangle. And we are creating a triangle, right? Like if I do it like this, it's like it's a triangle. And so this is really like in an intense position to really love yourself. You have to really do some work and to find that love in the end. It's not just like, oh, well, I'm just going to do a little pose here and there. It's like I really got to open up my heart to be fully accepting of who I am and who I have become. The court card for you is the Knight of Swords. If your birthday is between 10th of May and 9th of June, this is your court card. If not, look in the description below. I have listed them all, and of course including the major arcanas that I'm using today. There are only 13 of the 22, and also what deck I'm using on each of their positions. So here you are going into the left spinning cycle. You getting a right spinning reading today, all year, and on your full moon you getting a left spinning reading, which has to do with the wobble the earth thus here to the left. So every day she spins 24 hours around its own axis to the right. And that's the readings that I'm doing, right? But also she spins to the right around the sun in 365 days. And then once a year you get this really soul reading that has then all 22 major arcanas lying here, and that's the soul reading. That's the path from deep within to the out, and the human path is from the outside to the within. It's like learning whatever you can learn here in this dimension. So you are knowing about that. You are facing the left spinning cycle, and you're going towards that. You are very strong in that fact, right? So here you are connecting with your soul through the Knight of Swords. Back to your last reading where you had Aquarius Sun and Gemini Moon. The message was spiraling into your next creative fortune. So Aquarius Sun was the age, right, was the message from the new age, and now you get a message from the old age, which is leaving, which is literally also evolving up, right? It's that path up that you can see here. And so we begin the reading with the Fool, which is also facing left, the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is Mercury in Cancer and is connected with the Three Graces. And the Three Graces is belief, love, and hope. And interesting enough, there is one facing the soul. And it's the central one. It's the core. It's in your core. You know that the soul is speaking to you through the Three Graces, through these three words that are telling you to believe and to love and to hope and to never give that up. And the three is the new one. And here you get a very clear message that Mercury, which is your ruler, because you are the third house of communication, and Mercury is bringing you the information. Here you have Mercury in Cancer. You are getting a very emotional message so that you can continue now your path. And here it is very much the soul, because this is a state of consciousness in your head. Very strong right away. Because then on the position of the Magician comes here the lightning. And the lightning is like the thoughts, the creativity, the mental state that is clearly telling you you are very creative right now. And the Magician feels that, and here comes the 3 and the 0. Then you incorporate these three words with the new beginning. Also here the inspiration the Magician brings as a state of consciousness. Very empowering, because when you go closer you see the person framed here very, very lightly. You have to look very close to see him. But it's again this central, the essence of the card is always in the middle. The real teaching is in the middle of the card. And so here you get the light, you get the inspiration, you get really a strong message as an inspiration that's saying, yes, you are graced by a lot of inspirational information. So you have a 3-3 portal. That means 2 times 3 is the 3 is the understanding, is the power, is the new one, is the new creative endeavor, is the first form. 1 is a dot, 2 is a second dot with a line, and then 3 is a triangle. It's the first form, it's the new form, it's the birth. You give birth to creativity here, because 2 is creativity, 2 is to replicate, is to unite the opposite. Wow. Then on the position of the High Priestess comes the 6 of Wands. And the 6 of Wands is Jupiter in Leo, and so these 2 3s at the beginning immediately become now the number 6, and 6 is your number. And the 6 here means that you are celebrating yourself. Jupiter in Leo means that you are now inspired, and the creative flow is there because Jupiter is that wheel of fortune, is that fortunate creative spark that is coming to you. And the intuitive side in you is literally feeling that, because the High Priestess is your intuition. So you are celebrating the fact that you feel very inspired, very intuitive, very creative right now. Because the 6 here is literally the hexagram, the 2 triangles that are facing each other, overlapping and creating a sacred geometrical pattern, which is also called the Star of David. On the position then of the Empress comes here Leo, but not the card number 8, the card number 11 in the Oswald Wirth Tarot, which was part of the Rose Cross Order formed 1888 in France. La Force, these are French cards. She's holding the mouth of this lion, but she has the 8 as a hat, as that infinite knowledge that also the magician holds above his head. And that's where you got this lightning, you got the inspiration, you got this power to create and to unite this wild side, this passionate side within you, and instantly you have the portal. And the portal can be 11 or 8. It's also a portal. The 8, it's like 2 zeros attached to each other, right? So, and this is also the middle of the deck. There are 22 major arcana. So you are in the middle, you're in your center, and you are really creating strong work. You're inspired, you are happy, you are excited. And so here are you running towards that. You don't need to run anymore. Maybe go a little slower. Go like your friend, the Knight of Cups, because the Pisces is inspired or ruled by Neptune, the dreamer, the magician, the guru, the mystic. And the age of Aquarius that we are moving into, like I said, right, we divide this wobble up that's lasting 25,800 years through the 12 zodiac signs, and we get an age, and we're moving currently from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And that's why we are now having movies, the technology to create movies, and the technology to reach into your room through this visual, technical, creative endeavor. The internet, all the things that we are now posting on the internet, sometimes almost too much, right? Because the age of Aquarius is gonna say to you, well, it's not anymore about how can I get the information. That was the age of Pisces. The church was locking up all the information. Only specific people were allowed to read, and most people weren't able to read. And it's not about how am I getting the information now, it's like what I'm going to do with it. How I'm going to use it in my community, because that's what the star does. And then comes on the position of your card, the 7 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles is Saturn in Taurus. And Taurus is right before you, so maybe you have a little bit of Taurus inside of you. Look down in the description of the dates. And recognize that you are here protecting what you worked on. Also here, Mercury in Cancer, right? Watch if you maybe have also a little bit of a Cancer energy in you. So you are occupied mentally to create very much. You are inspired, you are really having the lightning, you're having the information coming down. It's the electricity, it's that spark. And the spark continues, right, with the fire here around this disc that he's holding. He's holding the sun, he's holding this creativity, the center of the creativity. And of course here again in the center where she is opening his mouth and connecting to this beast, to this creative wild side within you. And now you feel like you gotta protect it. Something in you is saying, okay, I gotta protect it, because the 7 is a hindrance sometimes, where you have to watch what is happening with what you have created, right? Because this is now Saturn, this is the teacher, this is the teacher that brings you the information that the financial situation you got to protect. You got to make sure that everything is functioning, that everything is flowing, so that you can continue to create. And then comes on the position of the Wheel of Fortune here, the bloom, the number 5. So the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, spinning and spinning. And you have Leo inside of here. You have all 4 fixed signs, right? You have Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius in the corner, protecting and holding the dimension of the physical world in place, so that the dimension of the world that it's spinning and continuously moving is letting you know that everything is coming and going. And so the number 5, interesting enough, she has 4 branches of her hair up into the sky. These are the 4 elements. And the 4 elements are, of course, what the magician has on his table, right? All 4 of them. And then the 5 is herself, the space, the body, the consciousness that she is using to bloom, to grow, because you have taken care of your roots, of your foundation. Because the 7 in the Tree of Life goes down and the 7 in the chakra system goes up. And of course the 7 in the Tree of Life is always that which we compost and we learn here down in this dimension, because it's becoming more and more dense. Okay, then on the position of the Hanged Man, which is like the yogi standing on his head, and he is receiving the information deep down from the ground, from the crystals, because he has his head now on the ground, on the earth. And the Hanged Man is that state of consciousness where you are shifting. And the shift is bringing you the fluorite crystal and the number 20. And the fluorite crystal is saying clarity and purity, clear focus, the end of confusion in your mind. So the end of confusion in your mind is making you go and be connected very strongly now with this lightning, with this inspiration, with all this clarity that comes through Mercury, through the love and the belief and the hope. Mercury in Cancer, Cancer being a water sign like Pisces. So there's an emotional fulfillment coming to you. And then there is, of course, the 3 is taking big steps to fulfill that. And the 6 then is this, not success, but a freedom, a certain freedom that it's placing in your intuitive side. It's placing itself in that I have arrived, right? Even though then the 7 is like a little bit of a hindrance that you have to get through, but you do the right thing. You protecting what you have worked on. And you're coming into your center through the 5. The 5 is the tests, is the physical plane. And now comes the 2, where it's back to the High Priestess, where you feel a certain freedom because this crystal is bringing you clarity and purity and the end of the confusion of the way you think. And then on the position of the Tower, which is also a state of consciousness that is bringing to you the end of the 7. Here the 7, the crown, is falling down, the 1 and the 6. Magically you recognize that you love yourself, that you are responsible for yourself, and then comes this spirit animal, the hummingbird. And the hummingbird is then giving you the power to see in your 3rd eye, because it's an air sign and it's the 3rd eye in Alberto Villoldo. He brings you further information, further inspiration. He is the prefrontal cortex, the development of the creativity, of the music, of the arts, of the poetries, of the writings, of the film, of movies. He's bringing that to you, he's bringing you a clarity. And through that clarity now, you get on the position of the moon of Pisces, then here the Marseille Tarot, the Empress, the number 3. Then it's almost like you can, through that inspiration of this beautiful animal, right? It's like, because it came on the position of the 7, it's literally watching you and saying, you're doing good, you're doing the right thing. Protect your money, protect that which you're making money now with. Protect that and see that you, even though there are hindrances and you have to watch how slowly things grow, but when things grow slowly, they also stay. If something comes really quick, it also leaves quick. And he's quick, right? The hummingbird, it's like his wings are crazy. So here we see the red color, and now it's almost like you become the Empress, and she has the eagle here, and you're not anymore just the 3rd eye, but the Empress is now up here with the Tree of Life. It's the upper triangle, the 1, the 2, and the 3, right? It creates that first triangle. And you have the 3 here. And you are now getting a 333 portal. A clear 333 portal. I don't have to calculate it together. A pure 333 portal, because you see that in your 3rd eye. You see that you are having belief and love and hope, and that you get this inspiration, this clarity coming down through the magician. And then the hummingbird sees it, and now you can literally look at the human path. She's looking over to the human path, and she's like, okay, now what I'm going to do with all of that. And 3 times 3 is like a deep understanding of understanding yourself, a deep understanding of being empowered without using it. Wow, what a beautiful reading already. And then you get one more card on the position of Pisces, because it's the Dream Oracle of Alberto Villoldo. I have listed all the cards that I'm using here down below. And here you get the number 40, the mindful, the groupthink. And that's very interesting, because the mindful, to be mindful, when we read it together, the 2 words, right? It's mindful, I'm mindful. But here it's a little gap, so is your mind full? And the groupthink is here to remind you that you want to co-create with others, that you're taking the responsibility, which is the 4, to work with others, to empower others, because then the 4 is kind of like the Emperor, and the Empress is looking into that. She's almost like she's seeing that in her 3rd eye. You have the 3rd eye opened, and the Empress is using the 3rd eye, because you are using here the 8 where the 3rd eye is, the power and the passion to learn, and then you see this world. And you see how he has created this visual world where she wants to move into, where she wants to evolve into, and that's the evolution of Pisces. Pisces is bringing you the power to be emotional stable, to be emotional, this incredible human being that holds, always believe and love and hope, and holds the inspiration, and then you are carrying it out into the world, into the material world. The 4 is the square, is the emperor, and creating a new world with others, with like-minded, which is what the age of Aquarius bringing to us, right? Smaller groups are now asked to make each other feel good, complete. Here you can be really who you want to be. And in that dynamic, you can also speak your mind, and no one will look at you and like treat you like you some crazy person. That's really what is important now, that you find your tribe. And then on the position of the sun comes another 40. So you have a 40-40 portal between the sun and the moon. And that means now you really ask to bring the atom, the building block of the atom, through the sun, which is in Pisces, right? The sun is in Pisces, so both of them are here. To bring that to the world, to bring this vision into the world, to start with small steps and protect it, because here came the 7 of Pentacles on your position and you are in the moon. So the 7 of Pentacles are here to help you to create this idea, this building block, this visual that you see, that the spirit is bringing to you, that you feel even in your guts, right, is here to lead you. And so here you have a 40-40 portal, 2 times 4, the creativity to be responsible. Be, very creative in your responsibility about how you gonna go about all your life. And then comes the last judgment, the wake-up call. And the wake-up call is literally saying, okay, now we want you to recognize that this new zeitgeist, this new time spirit that is wanting to come is bringing you this car, these 2 horses, and the butterfly in a house, but no humans. And it says play. Our work can and should take on the quality of play, for it is play that stimulates creativity. The number 48. And this is exactly what you're doing. You feel already here the playfulness, the creativity. You feel here creativity is coming literally down through the 3. You're understanding that in a very powerful way. And always remember, right, that these 3, this 333 portal is very important. That you know that the soul is in the center here, the cup that is facing the left spinning, and she is here on this side, and she is looking into the right spinning. She wants to live that. She wants to create that. She wants to create that inspirational creativity. And now you get from the last judgment, right, or the shaking or the awakening, the wake-up call to say, you gotta play, you don't work. I tell the people when they ask me, what do you work? I say, I don't work. I don't work. I play, I enjoy, I create, I inspire. That's what I do. I don't work. Even if I clean the house, I play, I make it, I transform, I shift, I change things. That's what here is your last before the world, right? Wake up call, keep playing. Really keep playing. And there is another horse with whom you play, with whom you feel good, right? Maybe there is a Leo in your life. I don't know. But I don't read it like with a partner, right? A partner, if you happy with yourself, then with your partner you're going to be in a beautiful place as well. And then comes on the position of the world, the Two of Wands. Then you continue to create, and then you take smaller steps, right? Here you took big steps, emotional big steps. You took a leap of faith into the emotional. And here you establish the freedom. So you have 6 and 2 wands creates 8. And that's where then here the 8 above in her head is speaking to you and saying, okay, now use the 8 to create more, because these are small steps on a active. Take always small steps and see that here the 2, because this is the 20, the 2 has spoken to you to be playful, created the 48, which then is being responsible in the way the infinite creativity comes to you, and then make it an action. And here the action becomes now an 8, because you have 6 and 2, which is an 8. Now calculate that together. Exactly. It's a 12. It's the magic in being intuitive, and then the 3, and then give birth to it playfully. Wow. And then you know, yes, there is more to explore. There's more vibration. There's more emotional happiness, spiraling, movement happening, more creative ideas coming down to you. I mean, it's like, that's it. You are seeing then the big steps that you took, the emotional big steps that you took, and how good that felt to do so. And now you're getting back from your core the information of your soul that is saying you did the right thing, to stay open, to stay connected emotionally with whomever you want to stay connected and open, who feels right in your guts, who make your hair stand up. These are the moments that we live for. Oh my God, I get goosebumps, right? That kind of saying. That's this card. Who is making you feel good in life? That's where you place your standard in through her. And then it just continues that you are playing, right? You play, and then you take, again, small steps in the action, which in a way are not small steps, because you have here these 2, because then you have a breakthrough, and that breakthrough is going to bring you forward into more creativity. Wow, what a beautiful reading. I hope I see you in the next one, because then is the Earth spinning in such a way that we then see behind the Sun the constellation Aries, and Aries is the 4. You see then that Aries is meditation, Aries is the head. You see then that mindfulness brought you the atom, brought you here these beautiful energies of the sun and the moon, the male and the female, and you are responsible for your next creative endeavors, and for the groupthink, and for the group that you live with and create with, and building a new future. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.